Good evening, folks. Welcome back to another episode of Meaghan and Mo. As always, I'm Mo.
And I'm the lovely Meaghan.
She's the lovely Meaghan. Anyway, to start this video, we'd like to apologize for the fact that we haven't released the content in almost 2 weeks. It's been extremely chaotic. You know, you guys know, if you've been watching us from the beginning, you know by now that we have 4 children.
Mm-hmm.
I work. She homeschool. Deal with the kids all day long. I come home, we do the gym, we come home, and then we have the other channel, 3 Crazies and a Lady. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe. That we run daily, and also the past week my mom was here visiting, so the schedule kind of got clogged up and we were not able to record content for Meaghan and Mo. But one thing we're gonna try and do is like I told you before, the goal is to release a video every day for both our channels. So we'll strive toward that. We'll do a better job, and we won't let this much gap.
But I wanted to say that if we do let a gap come in between our videos, we're human, we have children, we want to make time for each other and ourselves and our family. So don't hold our feet to the fire. Understand we live lives just like you, but we're here, and when we're here.
And you know what? If we don't have content for this one on a specific day, check out 3 Crazies and a Lady. That's 3 CRAZIES and a lady. Okay?
LADY.
That's the family channel. Anyway, let's get back to the grown-up talk. The kids are in bed, so right now we're gonna get right into it. Tonight the first thing we're discussing is that in a relationship, it should be 50-50.
Yep, give and take.
Right? 50-50. Half and half. Okay. Go ahead, Mom.
Go ahead, Mom.
The lovely Meaghan.
Go ahead, the lovely Meaghan.
Mama. I'm sorry.
The lovely Mama. Thank you. Yeah, to piggyback off of what he said, I feel like in a relationship, it has to be a 50-50. For me, right? I'm going to say for me, it has to be 50-50. I feel like if you're the type of person who wants a 50-50 relationship, then you have to go out and seek it. And if you find yourself with someone who is not actively engaging you in what you want, you need to make it clear that your needs are not being met as far as what you feel should be going on within a relationship, and then you need to go ahead and make the moves that are best for you personally. There are plenty of people who are in relationships that are not 50-50 relationships, that are more like 80-20, or that are more like 0 to 100. And that works for them. But if that's not what's working for you, and that's not what would work for me, and that's not what would work for my husband, if that's not what's working for you, you need to be able to clearly communicate that to the person that you're currently with. And then also not be afraid to lose if losing means that you'll win in the end.
Yeah, I just want to speak on the guys, specifically on the fellas. I'm a guy too, obviously, but I'm gonna say this, right? Gone are the days where you come home and let's say you have a family, right? And then your wife, she's a stay-at-home mom, right? I need everybody to understand that that's a job, and most likely more than whatever job you do outside. Okay, that's a much tougher, because we've done both. We've done it where she stayed home and I worked. We've done it where I've stayed home and she's worked. All right, and the workload that's involved, especially if you have young children, which usually
babies, toddlers, stair steps.
Yeah, so it's one of those things where there's a lot of work involved. So you cannot come home after your 12-hour shift and then sit down on the couch, put your feet up, start playing your video game, or expect her to have have the kids taken care of, the whole house clean, hot meal ready for you, your beer ready or whatever,
And then on top of that, be down to do.
Look, if you pay attention, the reason why a lot of housewives, when you come home, they have your t-shirt on, excuse me, it's because they feel like, I've been smelling like gravy all day because I've been cooking, cleaning, wiping toilet, wiping butts,
sweat, poo, snot,
running around, you know what I mean? Breaking up fights, homeschooling. They've been doing everything all day long.
Time out. stuff that I feel most men would be calling their wives within seconds. Where is this? How do I do this? Where do you find this? I think a lot of times, and he's been guilty of it too, there have been times where men feel like, well, what do you do all day? You have 8 hours to yourself. What do you do all day? You're sitting at home, you're on the couch, you're watching TV.
Well, mine is not from the perspective of so much like I don't know what you do. Mine is from the perspective that I've done it as well. But the difference is in our specific case, the main difference here is that you know how in a relationship the kids, they'll kind of like, I guess, fear one parent over the other, you know. So it's kind of that I'm like that guy, and then she's, you know, the parent that they try to push the envelope with a little bit.
I wouldn't call it pushing the envelope. He likes to call it pushing the envelope because that makes him feel better.
No, but that's what it is.
But that's not what it is, though.
Okay, so what is it?
What it is I'm the person that they feel will let them do more things than he will. So when I'm with them, they expect to be able to play the video game.
So they expect to be disrespectful.
No.
That's what that is.
No, it's not. Hold
on.
If
you tell them don't do it.
No. Let me clarify that, okay, before you start jumping down my throat. Okay? I'm the fun one, okay? He's the serious one, according to the kids. He reads that as I'm the pushover. He's the one they know not to fuck.
So if you're the fun one, does that mean they don't listen to you? I have never listened to that logic.
What it means, but they're not adults, so their logic is completely different.
So that I don't hear it. It doesn't make any sense.
What it means for them is, I don't expect you to act the same way as Daddy. I expect you to be a bit more lenient. So you disappoint me when you're lenient and you're getting on me and you're giving me those same rules he gives me.
So it's okay because that is, if you say don't do this and they do it, that's being disrespectful.
So here's the cultural differences right here. Check this one out.
But I'm just saying, if you tell them, you know, I came up here twice already, I told you to clean the room. If they're not cleaning it, that's being disrespectful. That's ignoring what you said. That's not, you're the fun one, so I'm the fun one. Does that mean I'm not supposed to give you any order? Not
that I'm not supposed to give you any order.
Well, they ain't following none of it.
Right. Not that I'm not supposed to give you any order, but like, say if I go up there 3-4 times and I say, y'all need to clean up. Right? And I'm saying this 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 5, 6, 7, 8 times, they expect me to still say it the way I've said it the first, the second, the third, and the fourth time.
I think I get to it?
That's not what they're seeing. They're just seeing, we like to be home with mom because she doesn't get it as Daddy does. But I do. But for them, they don't want me to be that way. So when I am that way, it's a problem for them.
The way I look at it as a kid, right? If I say, I want to be home with that parent because she will let me do more stuff, that means I'll be when she said do something, I'll get it done.
But
you know why? Because she'll let me do something. Now I'm not gonna say, even though she told me to do something, I'm not gonna do it. And then I still expect her to let me do stuff.
Okay, but that's aside from the topic. But the one that I want to ask you is, you're saying that now as an adult. Did you think that way as a child?
Yes, at their age, at 10 years old, yes.
Okay. So you thought that way. I know some kids who don't think that way.
Yeah, well, so what I'm saying is
that's a secondary reaction when faced with the consequence.
That's fine. You don't think that way, but I don't want to hear that stupid logic from you because that doesn't make any sense. If you say you're the fun one, that means you're supposed to listen to me. Anyway.
Yes. Sorry, we like to go on tangents.
Anyway,
back to the topic at hand.
And getting back to what I was saying, you can't so I was saying that when a woman is home, those are real jobs, right? And I know people will say, it's everybody's, is brought up differently or whatever, but I kind of feel like when you grow up, when you're an adult, and reality is in front of you, okay, that's the reality. You can't say, I'm not work all day, I don't want to come home and be nagged by kids, right? Then don't put your penis in your vagina, because the fact of the matter is this. If your woman, what's that thing that you're not supposed to get pregnant? What's it called?
Birth control.
Okay. If your woman is on birth control and you use condoms still, right? none of those things are 100% proof.
Even if you get a vasectomy, it ain't 100%
Yeah,
proof.
yeah. What's his name? The football player from the
Cromartie, yeah.
Okay then. So that means he's 12 or 15 child. So
32nd.
So it does not matter. The minute you're practicing, you're having sex, no matter all the protection you're using, there's a chance you might have a child, right? And then when that happens, excuse me, that's reality in front of you. Okay, you can't come home and say, well, I expect mom to do her kids, the kids do this, and then I'm going to bring the check. Your check doesn't mean anything. Look outside. It's 2018. There's not a check that you can bring home that a woman cannot get herself. So anyway, as I was saying, fellas, no matter what the situation is, as long as you guys you're sexually active, there's a chance, right, that might happen. No matter the protection you use. So when that happens, you have to man up. Okay? At that point, your job is no longer, I'm just a provider. I'm just gonna go get the money and come home. No, you get the money, you come home, you change the diaper, you wash the dishes, and that's something that me personally, the way I was raised that way. I was raised to do, things in the house, and then that's how I was brought up since I was like 4 or 5 years old. Like, you wake up at 6 a.m. and you get stuff done. So naturally, I'm like that for the most part. I come home and I want to get stuff done.
And we at one point in time we did it. Like, I went to work. I had to be to work at 8:30. I worked 8:30 to what? 5 was it or 5:30?
Something like that. Yeah.
Right. I would get off, and then as soon as I got in the door, right, you had to be at work. Remember when you were working the night shifts? You had to be at work. So turn around, kids was fed, showered. By the time I got home, all I had to do was feed Noe. She was a baby then, so I would feed her. Go upstairs, shower.
Oh, when I was doing the cleaning job.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's what I was saying.
And you were doing 2 cleaning jobs at that point in time.
And I had my own business. Remember doing it, sometime. So that's kind of what I'm saying is that we've both done it. Where I'm home during the day, and what I would do is when they hit sometime I have dinner happening already. I have the kids all washed up, pajamas on, and what we try, because we always wanted to have dinner as a family. And so I'll have the food ready at the temperature.
By the time I walk in the door.
And by the time she walks in the door, I'll serve it, we all sit down, we eat real quickly, clean up, put things away, and then I'll be on my way. All right? And then, then the reverse happened, where you were home. Yeah, remember? You were home during the day, and I had to go to work. And then I came in and you were working the night shift, So we've done both. I'm saying, or always saying is that when you have a family, there's a lot of sacrifice involved. All right, and part of that's the job. Like, nobody's gonna feel sorry for you. Oh my God, that's the job. If you take our case right now, we have 4 children, right? I work 9 hours a day. She's, so here's what I do. I try to do it because I'm not here all day long. I try to do everything that I can to kind of help her ease into the day. So I'll get up a little early, get the kids' breakfast started, wake them up. We'll get, they get their beds made, they'll take a shower, they'll come downstairs, eat their breakfast, go back upstairs, brush their teeth, they're good to go. Our daughter will usually be sleeping at that time. Our youngest boy, he's not in school yet, so he's just kind of, freelance. And then the 2 older ones, they will get started with their schoolwork, as she's beginning to get up or whatever. So I try to get that done for her, that way she doesn't have to deal with, breakfast and all that. And then for the most part, lunch will either be French fries just put in the oven, or sandwiches, snack that they can make. They can get that themselves. She doesn't have to do too much on that end. And then for the most part, a lot of time, usually we'll make dinner the night before,
and it's made the night before,
and it's in the refrigerator. So come dinner time, they just have to heat it up, So
because I was making dinner every night before he got
before
in.
I started, then I was like, it becomes a little too much because our daughter, she's breastfed. She that's how she eats.
Nipple play right now.
Right. So a lot of time when she try to cook, she's grabbing on her. And then my younger son is asking questions, and there's a whole lot going on. So I just figure, okay, and make the dinner the night before. Sometimes I make it, sometimes she makes it, and that way, I feel like when you say, "Oh, well, I'm the man of the house," your job is to make, if she's home, if your wife's the one that stays home, your job is to make her day as easy as possible, right? So if I take away the breakfast, I got that part. Lunch is very easy, sandwiches. Dinner is out of the way already. Okay, my oldest son can use the microwave. He can heat up everybody's food for them, you know. And so that takes some of the load off, because it's a, you know, and you guys know this, because when you're home you see it. It's a constant stop, come here, mama, I want this, it's, you know, you never get to sit down. That's just how it is.
And for some reason, children tend to typically show their ASS when their mother is by themselves. You know, especially if they know daddy at work and daddy ain't gonna be able to come back to the house for every little thing. Well, yeah, I'm gonna give mommy a hard time. But the other thing I need men to take in consideration, right? And this is not saying take it into consideration, I'm whining about it, but women go through a lot of mood changes. They go through getting their period, and a lot of physical changes and emotional changes, postpartum depression, and all these things that I feel like men don't go through postpartum depression. Y'all might go through some type of depression after, you know, watching your wife have a baby and not feeling included and whatnot, and you do obviously experience depression, but you don't deal with those changes that come about every month, the week before your period comes. Trust me, it's not a good feeling. And then when you have that starting to settle on, like, you know, I can realize that I get really sleepy, and when I get really sleepy, I get really groggy. And when I get groggy, I get real bitchy. And when I get bitchy, the kids get the brunt of it. And I know when that's coming. You know, the week before my period comes, I turn into a monster in the house, and the kids get that. And then the week of my period, I want to be in a tub, I want to sleep, I don't want to be bothered, I don't want to be standing up, I want to be left alone, I don't want nobody hanging on me, and I'm going through all of that. So imagine going through all of that, and you've got 4 or 5 children you got to deal with by yourself. Men, do you ever stop to take that in consideration, that that's what she's dealing with at home? I really despise when I hear she has all day to herself at home. No, she does not. She does not have all day to herself at home, because she's got a child wanting to be, you know, grabbing on her nipple, or wanting a bottle, wanting to pacify. She's got one that wants a sippy cup, one that wants some cookies, 2 that are fighting, one that's trying to walk out the door and do all types of stuff, putting his hand in the oven when he ain't got no business putting his hand in the oven, messing up the cable box, all type of things going on at home. And where are you at on your hour lunch break shooting the breeze with your coworkers from work? But yet you feel she has all that time to herself. You get to walk out the door in the morning, go down the elevator, or go up into the garage, pull your car up, play your music on the highway to work. She doesn't get that. As soon as you walk out the door, she's got to do, oh, daddy left. They breaking out, falling over the floor, don't want to listen. They start their crap immediately as soon as you walk out the door.
Take that in consideration, fellas. I guess that's what we're trying to say is this is not an onslaught on men or anything like that. This is really just empowerment for couples that go through this thing. So hopefully, if you're watching this and this is your reality, you know, you can kind of like sit with your woman and talk this thing through, like find out, you know, what she goes through, find out how she feels about that stuff. Those are real issues. And
you can't always see it as nagging or whining or complaining. And he used to do it sometimes to me too, and I had to say to him, when I'm venting my frustrations that occurred during the day, I'm not nagging or whining and complaining. I'm just letting you know how my day went and where I had an issue. Men and women communicate, and they hear differently.
Yeah. One of the things that worked in terms of us getting, we gotta cut this video, this is getting too long. But anyway, one of the things that help us get better is really just communication, to be honest with you. Open, honest, constant communication. Like after the kids go to bed, we'll sit on the bed and just talk for like an hour, you know. And so I think that's what I would recommend you. If you're going through this kind of thing in your relationship, in your home, I think conversation, you know, as a man, you know, you want to take charge. You know, ask, you know, make her sit down, ask her how she feels, you know, rub her feet, you know, run her bath, and then those things make women feel, you know, special. Like there's you know, it's like if your woman goes out and buys some new bra and panty, like I said, you know, something like that, or she went and got her nails done, got her eyebrows done, if she's into makeup or she's into hair and all that stuff, there's something about it that makes them feel, you know, elegant and beautiful, and you know, and those things go a long way. But like I said, man, just have the conversation. Don't be afraid to talk about it. You know, open up, because that's one thing that I had to do. I had to grow we had to grow together emotionally and open up and have conversations. Maybe conversation that was uncomfortable, but if you're trying to, if you're in it for the long haul, you're gonna have to have those conversations and to better yourselves.
And most importantly, you have to be able to listen to each other. Aside from having open and honest conversations, because that's just talking, I feel like you have to be able to be quiet, sit back, and hear what the other person is saying without jumping to the defense or getting an attitude about the issues that they're bringing forth. Because really, that's honestly the only way you're going to hear what each other is saying. And if you can't hear what each other is saying, then open, honest communication is not going to work at all. So when things are being brought to you that may make you feel uncomfortable or you don't want to hear it, you're going to have to hear it if you want the relationship to work. And if you don't want the relationship to work, then like I said, you have to have the courage to say that and then be able to move on accordingly and respectfully from there.
And on that note, we're gonna cut this video. This went way too long. Hopefully it's not. We're gonna try to do our best. Hopefully it's not a 45-minute video. But as always, man, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Meaghan and Mo. Like I said, we'll try and bring you a new video every day. If you're new around here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the family. We'd like to have you join us. Email your questions in. Email your comment down below. Like the video. Let us know what you're feeling. Let us know how you feel about the topic that we're discussing. But as always, thank you so much for joining us, and we really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Peace.